Welcome back. Let's talk about international travel now. And Cape Town International Airport has recorded its highest domestic traffic volumes since air travel resumed. Domestic terminal numbers last month reaching 61% of the levels that it had back in 2019. It's obviously very good news for travel, but what does it mean for safety protocols and passengers coming in and out? Let's unpack that and what we can expect from travel and whether it's going to increase even more, despite the third wave concerns from the Cape Town Mayoral Committee. It's a member in the Economic Opportunities portfolio, as Mr. James Foss. Hello to you, James. It's always a pleasure speaking to you. Of course, it's great news if we're starting to see an uptick in numbers. Cape Town very much a central point for tourism in the country as well. So just give me a sense then of the numbers that you guys have been experiencing at the airport.
Yes, good morning, Gareth, and also happy Mother's Day to all the mothers of South Africa. Yes, it's certainly good news and gives us hope of returning to a sort of pre-pandemic normal. People have become familiar with their health and safety protocols in place and so feel more secure while in airports and other public travel areas. So in Cape Town, we have also driven hard the messaging around the city, being an attractive destination whilst maintaining the messages around health and safety related to COVID. Gareth, a few months ago, we put together the tourism task team to get the tourism and hospitality industry through these tough times and also focusing on the future prospects. And it enjoys high-level support from across the sector as well as our official destination marketing organisation, Cape Town Tourism. Now, April has been the best month for domestic traffic at Cape Town International Airport since the resumption of flights in June of 2020. Passenger numbers hit their highest level, with domestic terminal numbers reaching 61% of 2019 totals for April. International tourism is still down, and yes, South Africa is still on many other countries' no-travel list because of the variant that originated here and also because many Western countries are far ahead in terms of their vaccine rollout. But what is important is to say that we are driving the measures in the various stages of recovery and readiness, as well as campaigns to stimulate supply and demand for specific key source market, such as domestic and international travel. We've introduced a 10-point tourism strategy, which is a multi-pronged approach to help the tourism industry survive in these challenging months ahead, as we really get to grips with the evolving nature of a new reality, adapt quickly, and think creatively.
James, let me come in there for a moment, because it sounds like as far as the international airport is concerned, all the plans are there, and it sounds like Cape Town is doing everything it can to support the tourism sector, and I think we've seen that. We've been hearing from members of the community here on eNCA. What have we learned, though, off the back of the hard lockdown last year? Obviously, that caught everybody off guard, took us all out at the knees. These changes you're talking about have come in. They have made a difference. Now we're heading into this potential third wave. We're now heading into winter. How do you foresee Cape Town as part of your other portfolio, outside of talking about the airport, from economic opportunities? How are you preparing Cape Town for what experts are saying is going to be a third wave?
Yes, it's in everyone's best interest to help the entire economic industry to recover. And Cape Town and South Africa has so much to offer for international investors, our local companies that we need to retain and help expand. So we're working very closely with all of our catalytic sectors, specifically those sectors that employ a lot of people, from food and beverage, manufacturing, clothing and textile, call centers, to make sure that all of the health protocols are adhered to. We're also helping these sectors come up with new ways of doing business by working remotely, also co-working spaces so that we can reduce congestion in some of these high-volume areas, but to make sure that COVID compliance takes priority, because we need to keep our economy open and specifically these high-growth sectors.
Like the tourism sector as well, which I think has been one of the key turning points for you. And James, and I'm sure many people are going to congratulate you and Cape Town and some of the other big areas around the country on the work you've been doing in trying to keep the small tourism businesses up and going. I think it's putting food on tables. But for the moment, James, I'm going to say thank you for indulging me on that last question. The big point, though, of course, was Cape Town International Airport seeing an uptick in international and domestic numbers.